the people a second.
Yeah,
Unless we got the Noti gang. I don't know if we got Noti gang. Let's wait.
Let's see here. I'm gonna share the link real quick. Let's
Yeah.
get it. All right. What's going on, you guys? It's Spade Prize Picks here with Mailman. We're
What's
about to
up?
lab up today.
Yep.
We got
Second
some
time.
spots. Yep. We're back. We're
Back.
running it back. We're excited. I got some NFL spots that I'm really excited to share with you guys. But we also got some NBA we're about to go over first.
Yes, sir.
Just sharing the link with the DubClub Discord. Before we start, you guys can find us on Twitter at Spade Prize Picks for me, at Mailman Locks. Also on Instagram for myself, and then you can join both of our Dub Clubs for free until Christmas using the link in our post as well as below on this live stream. But yeah, let's get into it.
Let's jump into it. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So today, pretty
Are
small.
you sharing your
NBA
screen,
slate.
by the way? I don't see the.
Not yet. Let's get
Okay,
that
cool.
going.
Yeah.
All right, so pretty small NBA slate today, as I mentioned, after a big boy yesterday. So a little bit breaking the action, but don't worry, we got NFL tomorrow, so a little bit of nonstop weekend action this week. I only got 2 spots. I think Spade has about 3. So we'll just kind of run through those, give a little rationale, and then kind of move on to NFL. So,
Yeah, let's get it.
Do you want to start us off?
Yeah, well, are you on Embiid as well? Is that one of
I am
yours?
on Embiid. Yeah, that's
So let's just get straight into that one. Only because I will say that I was kind of scared seeing that LaMelo Ball got ruled out in this game,
Yeah.
but it seems to have not really affected the line. As we can see, it's already moving to 4.5 on a ton of spots. And yeah, when I looked on Fliff, it was minus 170. So this had originally bounced around back to like minus 120, minus 130 when LaMelo Ball was originally ruled out. And I do think this game does have blowout potential, which is why I just want to get this one out the way first. But we both really like this spot for him to go over 3.5 assists. I'll let you give some reasoning on that.
Well, yeah, I just think it's just generally mispriced. With him playing with Maxey and PG too, even with LaMelo out, I think he can get it done in 3 quarters. The passing volume's always there. I don't know. It just kind of feels like a gimme. And congrats to people that got it at less than minus 130. With that bet 365.
I got it at minus 130.
Yeah, so the bet 365 line to minus 120 was absolutely stupid. I don't know
Yeah.
how that bumped down the LaMelo Ball news. Like, yeah, well, it's concerning, but you know.
Yeah.
It's just a gimme.
It's just
you kinda have
blowout.
to take it.
That's the only reason it's concerning. But
I think he's
besides that, go ahead and go over. We're going to go through the NBA pretty quick today just because there's only a 3-game slate. We're honestly pretty excited for the NFL slate that we have coming up this week. But let's go on to the next spot that I really like for today. Let's actually start with, we'll do Spider.
You know, Spider.
Yeah, I'm honestly a little more excited about Mr. Butler, but we'll go with
You gotta
Spider.
save the excitement.
Yeah,
Save
you're
it
right,
for
you're
people.
right.
All right, there we go.
All right, so go ahead and throw on the at-home filter.
Yep.
So we all know you got to take your guards versus the Bucks, and I know that Mitchell isn't classified as a PG, but he's the PG. He plays the point guard most of the time, pretty much. I mean, Garland's gonna be playing obviously is the point, but you got to take your guards against the Bucks regardless. This is a great spot for Mitchell. Go down to the field goal attempted.
Yep.
So at home, he's averaging 17.8 field goal attempted. This is a great volume spot for him with a good matchup. I also don't think, even without Damian Lillard on the other end of this game, I don't think this game gets blown out by the Cavs this game. This is just a good spot head-to-head as well. When you look at this, he's soaring over besides their last game at home. But this season, he did drop over 30 on the road against Milwaukee. So, really good spot for him to go over 23.5 tonight. And this line hasn't moved very much. You can still get this at a great spot. I'm honestly kind of upset that it hasn't moved a bit. But I was expecting it to bump to 24.5, but you can still grab this at a really good price. I think this is a great matchup, and just Spida at home is always a good spot. He always chucks more at home. Good spot for Spida.
Yeah, that was one of the ones I was looking at last night. I didn't think it was going to be there this morning, but it was. To my surprise, it was even money. It kind of did it stay even money.
Yeah, it's still minus 115 on Fliff. The same odds I got it at. Yeah.
Damn, I still think it's a good spot. It's a great spot, honestly.
Yeah.
overall, I'm like
It's a volume spot with a good matchup too.
Yeah, and the spread's only 9 without Dame. I would have thought they could have pushed like 13 and a half, 14 and a half, but I don't know. Like Giannis is going to put the human on his back, man. He's coming
A
fresh off
lean?
that money.
Yeah, you got any leans on the Milwaukee side of this game? Because I do.
Last night I was looking at Torian Prince without Dame.
Okay, yeah.
That's pretty much it for the Milwaukee side. I don't know.
For the Milwaukee
it's
side?
just catch and shoot. Yeah.
I see the line is now 13 and a half, but I was originally looking at Bobby Portis over 12 and a half points against the Cavs just because of the Cavs defense against like the bigs low key. Like, no, go to power forward.
Yeah.
So it's honestly not too great, but when you do see without Dame, he does get a pretty good uptick in volume. I mean, they only say that they give up the 10th points, but just take.
100% hit rate.
Yeah, I guess you can call that a 100% hit rate. How many shots did he chuck in that game? That was just
15.
the spot I was looking at, knowing that Damian Lillard wouldn't be playing.
Yeah, no, that's a solid spot.
At 12 and a half, definitely. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, that's just one spot I was looking at for that one.
Giannis RA too, when it was at 18 and a half, was solid too. Oh, the good old Chico train in the background. Love to hear it. Yeah, Giannis RA was a decent spot. His boards was at 10 and a half last night for like 15, 20 minutes, which was stupid. So congrats to anyone that snagged that, because that was just completely mispriced.
10 and a half, I saw that.
Yeah,
that was crazy. I
I
never saw that. I only had him at 11 and a half at crazy juice on the over already.
Yeah, but that 10 and a half line was silly anyway. It shouldn't have been there that long. All
Yeah,
right.
that makes sense.
I mean, I think that's for that game. I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
It's a small slate, like we said. So you want to move OKC?
Yeah, yep. You've got to tell them about your OKC bet, and then I'll go straight into the Miami Heat.
Sounds good. All right. Well, I got Shea Gilly assist tonight. Main focus with that was basically just the Heat taking away the number one option, kind of forcing them to like a pass first kind of role, which we've seen kind of throughout the year. And then also I have my write up behind me. I got the Heat allowed the sixth most assists to point guards, and then the double team stat obviously, and then last season, not that it completely matters, but the kind of defensive philosophies kind of stayed the same, and he had 8 and 6 assists when they kind of like force him to pass, and he had double digit potentials in both those games too. And then some ball dominant guards versus Miami this season. Spida had 5 assists, Booker had 7 and 9, and then Dame had 12, and then Brunson had 9. So just kind of volume, kind of forced them through to play without him as their primary scorer. I kind of like that tonight. So
Very solid, bro. So I like that spot as well. I actually wish that I could have gotten that at plus money. I didn't want to take it just because by the time that I was already looking at that, it was pretty juiced. I knew that it had opened at plus 110, which is crazy. But even at that juice, it's still a solid play in my opinion. It's going
at 110.
Yeah, it's going to the way that you read the game, that's exactly what's going to happen. But we just need him to actually convert. We all know Shy burned us a couple days ago, but that's all right. We forgive and we forget, and we move on with a good matchup for him today.
Andre Jackson, the bane of
Yeah.
his existence.
For real. But going on to the other side of this game, if you could go ahead and go on to Jimmy Butler, his points and rebounds.
PR. Himmy.
Is it still at 23 and a half? 24 and a half with it. Oh, wow. 25 and a half on DraftKings. 23 and a half. I don't know if that's a real line on MGM. But here's the deal. Got this at 23 and a half for the DubClub at a solid price, minus 115 today. And this is a solid spot that I like for Jimmy Butler going up against OKC. Here's what the way I'm seeing this game is the Thunder have played 3 games in the last 4 days. They're definitely going to have a little bit of exhaustion on defense. And the Heat are coming into this game rested, as well as Jimmy Butler has been wanting to get traded, obviously. We all know this is a little bit of a showcase game just in general. He's been playing really good. Obviously, his last game, he dropped a nuke. But he's how many minutes did he play in that game? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he just played a huge 44-minute game.
That's crazy.
He's getting a ton of usage recently, and he's healthy as well. He wasn't 100% to start the season out. But I love this spot for him also with basically the Thunder give up the 29th most rebounds in the league. We all know that's a pretty solid spot. They give up a ton of rebounds. They also have the 12th highest pace and they give up a ton of free throws, which is how Jimmy Butler gets 25% of his points, which is
Merchant.
crazy. He's kind of a merchant, yeah.
Merchant. Him and
So
Trey.
solid matchup for him to get rebounds, and then also a solid matchup for his play type. He also loves to score in the paint, and the OKC Thunder have the seventh ranked paint defense.
He's
But that's where
he's
he's
line 15 times.
yeah, it's where he's scoring most of his points, and they do actually defend that area of the court a little weaker than the above the break three or like from the corner. So especially and the restricted area, they defend pretty well. So
Truth.
love this spot for Jimmy to go and have an aggressive game tonight against a tired Oklahoma City Thunder.
Love it. I love it. He's gonna get 20 free throws. Book it.
Book it. He might. Hopefully, he gets like 10 free throws straight up.
10 free throws straight up. Jimmy's gonna get to the line 25 times tonight. You heard it here first from Spade Prize Picks. All right. Honestly, I think for NBA, that's dude. I mean,
Yeah,
do you have
that's
any leans
raps.
for that game? Do you have any?
No,
leans?
no.
No?
We already agreed before this we are gonna fire off the NBA picks for the day, just because there's no need to force anything, especially with this slate. Honestly, the small slates have been unfavorable for us recently. I feel like it's
Not nice.
easier to find more edges when there's more options. Obviously, some people don't feel that way. Some people like the really small slates, but
8 plays on a 2-game slate, baby.
yeah, I mean, if you're really sharp with it, you'll just have like one play for the one game, and just that's that play of the day, baby. But
Yeah.
all right,
Alright, so
well, getting
what
into
is
some
it?
NFL, I'm really excited about this week. I'm also in the
Houston-
fantasy championship.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
take it
it's
home.
okay though.
Take
You're-
it home.
yeah,
dude. Take
thank
it
you,
home.
bro. Yeah.
Yes, I believe.
Hey,
believe
take
in you.
home the toilet bowl.
Oh, God, shut
That's
up,
what
dude.
that's what they call it on
I didn't, set
Sleeper.
my, I didn't set my lineup, dude. That's my fault.
Yeah, yeah.
I was too in on my other league. It's okay. It's all right.
Okay, that's okay though. Don't over-index on the leagues. Is the
Yeah, don't
Uh,
join 8 leagues like me. All right.
yeah,
Don't
that's
do it.
the fantasy tip of the day.
Yeah.
All right though. Do you want to start, or do you want me to start with the pick for this weekend?
I don't have an official pick for this game, so I'll let you start. So it's Houston
Okay.
KC.
Oh yeah, you just want to go into the Saturday real quick? Saturday slate?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, that's
if you're down
perfect.
for that.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Houston,
So
KC.
I can go ahead and start with that then. Let me pull up my notes because
Yeah, let me give them the stats. So Chiefs are at home. It's a 42.5 point game total, 3.5 point spread in favor of the Chiefs. So just to give you a little gist of the action.
I like that 3-point spread.
3.5. Yeah.
I don't want to see the Chiefs take it home. Tired of
You
it.
think
The
Texans-
voodoo, the
Texans
voodoo
coming?
has to end. No,
Dude,
I
he's
don't
gonna-
think so.
Week to week, my ass.
Yeah.
Voodoo,
All right.
Black Magic, and Patrick Mahomes back at it
Yeah,
again.
he's got
Heel
like a-
ankle.
It's some crazy stuff going down
don't
at the
like it.
Mahomes.
Stupid.
But yeah. Go ahead and take me to the Joe Mixon. Let me see, Mr. Mixon.
Joe Mixon.
Yeah, so we can see his lines is starting to move pretty significantly. It opened at 59.5. Best line you can get right now is -110 at 61.5 MGM. That is probably the best I would take. I don't really want this over like 62.5. I really like the 59.5 line to get him to just get 60 rush yards. If we look at this on the season, he has over 100 rush yards in 7 out of 11 games, averaging 19.7 carries per game. Now, he had a really low carry game last game, but Miami actually was locking him down pretty well. And also, he didn't play as many snaps, but I do believe that he is okay because he is not on the injury report or anything. I think he's going to continue the workhorse. Obviously, this Chiefs defense is good against the run. When you look at this, it says that they allow the least rushing yards in the league and the third least rush attempts. However, in the last 3 weeks, they have been kind of getting exposed on defense a little bit, or on the run defense, if you actually take a look at that. And these are against some running back groups that we wouldn't really consider high caliber.
Not good.
So you've got the Cleveland group of Chubb and Ford. They put in 125 rush yards on the Chiefs. Then you've got the Chargers, Vidal and Edwards. The Chiefs defense let up 70 rush yards to that pretty weak rush offense right now. And then the Raiders rush group between Abdullah and McCormick put in 103 rush yards against the Chiefs. So with Joe Mixon averaging 19.7 carries on the season, he's going to get a ton of usage, even in a tough matchup. And with the volume he's seeing, I just don't expect him to not cover 60 rush yards, especially with how the Chiefs' D has been getting exposed on the ground recently. He's got a 17.5 rush attempt line. I
On
mean,
the
look at
road.
that. That's pretty crazy.
That's
Yeah.
on the road. Yeah. That's very
So
solid.
that's a spot that I love for this Saturday.
Yeah. Well, I was just looking more into it while you were talking. And over the last month, the Chiefs are allowing they're 18th in rush yards allowed at 108.5 per game. When you kind of take that and compare that back to the 56.42 on the season, they've obviously been lacking a little bit, and that was
Yeah.
present in the chart down below. So it's definitely a spot. Also, let me see these rush longs. I want to
The
see, yeah, like
fraudulent Chiefs are getting exposed on the ground.
they are the first round exits. Book it. Jerome Ford had a 62 yarder too. So I mean, yeah, I don't know. I like the spot for sure. I think 59.5 is just stupid. I don't
Yeah,
really
when I
get
saw
that.
that, I couldn't believe what I was looking at. Just for a guy like Mixon who sees so much usage and is just
Yeah.
a power horse, that's such a crazy line in my opinion. And also another, I feel like this isn't a sticky stat at all, but if you actually get rid of that away filter real quick, so
Yeah.
that's crazy. He's covered in every single away game, but
Yeah.
he's also never had a game where he hasn't bounced back after a like bad game. I know it's
Yeah.
not really a sticky stat, but I was looking at that. He's like, okay, this guy likes to bounce back,
Yeah.
obviously. So
He's not
solid
having
spot that I
two.
like for tomorrow.
Yeah, he's not having two stinkers in a row. And then also, over the last month, it's probably skewed a little bit by that Jerome Ford 62-yard run. Yeah, but the Chiefs are allowing the fifth most yards per carry over the last month. So that's something interesting. I don't know.
That's a good spot. Yeah, I like that.
Although, yeah, the expected runs to go for 15 yards, it's only 2.2%, which is among like the bottom of the league. So I guess it's not. It's probably pretty skewed by that Jerome Ford run, but still, yards per carry wise, he's gonna get 18 carries. Yeah, it's a good
Yeah,
spot.
for sure.
I like that for sure.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I don't have anything that I've officially locked in for the Chiefs side or for the Ravens against Steelers game.
Yeah,
I
I have
don't
some
know if you have
leans.
anything that you've been looking at for either
Yeah,
any of these games.
I have some leans. So, uh, Hollywood Brown's back, just to kind of break that. So he's back this week. I don't know how many snaps he sees. Probably not upwards of 35. He'll probably stay under. Just first game back in forever. But I was looking at Pacheco. It was at 7.5 when I was looking earlier this week, which is I don't know. It just felt kind of low. His snaps are still pretty low, obviously, and it's not the best matchup for receiving backs wise. It's not great, but just off gut, off rip. Like I watched that game where he had 4 targets against the Chargers, and it felt like he had 100 targets, and he still finished with 6 yards. I know because I finished 1.5 yards short of cashing my rush receiving prop for that game. So
That
trust me,
was
I
a
felt
tough one,
every
bro.
I felt every missed target. But I don't know. That was just like just a little intuition lean. Just felt a little low. And then looking at some other props, was looking at Tank Dell. He was at 36.5 a little bit earlier this week, which also just felt a little bit low. Just the target volume hasn't been there, unfortunately, without Diggs and with Nico. So it just still felt like a little bit low. And also the slot target rate, he plays like 35% in the slot, and they allow like a huge target rate, the Chiefs do. So it's just something to look at. But yeah, no official leans from this game yet.
Are
I think
you
Joe Mixon.
ignoring the
Yeah.
wagon? Are you ignoring Nico Collins' longest reception?
Yeah, if it was 25.5.
I know,
It's at
man. I
20, isn't
wish
it at
we're
26
long
and a
gone
half?
the days where they were giving us this at a really good
22.
line. Yeah, it's
22.
gone.
It's also a bad matchup actually for that prop this week. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. He'll break one.
Yeah, but
That's what he
Nico
does.
Collins always gets like a deep ball of like
It's actually not
30
it's not a
yards.
horrible matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what his A dot is on the season. Actually, I think that's important to our
Check
to our
that out
cause.
real quick for
Yeah,
the. Yeah, Nico Collins has been a wagon on the longest reception. They were giving us this at a super soft line all season. It was like
yeah.
starting out at like 22 and a half. And I even remember it being as low as like 19 and a half in a tough matchup. If you want a solid, in my opinion, even in a tough matchup, he's going to get a 20-yarder catch. As you can see, he's covered that in 8 out of his last 9 games. At just at least a 20-yard catch. That's a solid little builder line. I was looking, it's not too juiced. That was you could have gotten hit when lines first opened for this. I looked and you could get the 19 and a half at like it was near like minus 160.
That's it.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Wow.
But
His
it's
A dot's
because
actually
the longest reception line opened at 24.5.
For this week?
Yeah.
Oh man, I would have definitely taken that.
I should.
Finals week
I
got me
didn't.
lacking. Finals week.
I
got
didn't
me
pull the
lacking.
trigger on it either, but
Yeah,
that's all right.
Finals week got me
Yeah.
slow on the props. It's all right.
Well,
yeah, that's a good spot though. I like
what
that.
would you say his ADOT was?
It's actually not that. It's only 11.3 on the season. The last 4 weeks, three of the last four, it's been under 10. Like Stroud, sophomore slump a little bit, but I don't know. Their offense just doesn't look fantastic.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Well,
Yeah.
do you want to move into the Sunday slate? This is going to be the heavy hitters.
You want to take a peek at this at all?
Oh yeah,
No,
I
you
actually
know,
completely
okay.
forgot about that. My bad.
Yeah,
I
mean,
forgot
did too.
about.
No George Pickens. I don't care. I don't care about
Yeah,
this kid, no
it's-
George Pickens.
And it's hard because we talked about the Lamar Jackson under pass attempts again this week, but it's such a sharp line again, and it was so scary. Whoa, 29.5?
Yeah, but it's just.
Oh, I was seeing 28.5 earlier.
I think is that a real spot? Let me check.
Yeah, that is a real spot.
It
Interesting.
just feels a little.
It
It
could
just
be-
it was so scary last time.
Dude, it was terrifying. Lamar Jackson is going band for band he's like trying to chase Josh Allen for MVP. And he's not giving up. He's like, all right, well, I will literally throw 5 tutties in 26 or 25 passes last week?
25 passes. It was stupid. The
Yeah.
touchdown rate is crazy. But I mean, I like it from a perspective of not having Pickens, but I don't like it from the fact that the Steelers' run defense is good. And that Derrick
Yeah,
Henry was
that's fair.
you look cheeks when they played them last. And like,
Yeah, what do you
I
think
just
about
don't-
Derrick Henry? I need him to go off for fantasy for me this week. Steelers' defense on run is pretty good.
yeah, I don't. He still churned his way to 65, but how many? 13. He had so most.
He's
of that
not
came
getting
from
it done for me.
Most of that came from a 31-yard rush.
Yeah,
So,
that's pretty rough. He's got a tough
Yeah.
matchup for sure. It's hard, honestly. It's a pretty hard game to read what the lines are giving. I was
Yeah.
looking, just with that, in my opinion, I do think that in terms of the receiving game for Pittsburgh,
yeah.
if you go look at Najee without Pickens, I feel like he hasn't hit it in the last 2 games, but I feel like that was a good look at his receptions. I know it's not going to be anything.
Targets are 0 and 1, and receptions are
Jeez.
0 and 1. Yeah,
What
maybe-
about not this season?
Oh,
Go to
what?
his okay, yeah. Go to no. Najee Harris last 10 games without Pickens, and this is still the same team. Everything. I'm just
Different
like wondering.
QB.
I remember. Yeah, that's true. I'm wondering what is different here because I remember looking at looking at Pittsburgh lines over the last couple weeks without Pickens. Yeah, it's just something. Honestly, I can't. It's a hard game to read, in my opinion. There's nothing that that personally stands out to me as a play that is something that I really want to put money onto.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't think I'll.
Let me check
force
out
this
what
game.
the. I'm curious what the spread is for this game. Let's see.
It is
6.5 Baltimore Ravens at home.
44.5 point total. So I'm getting 7 on DK now. 7 points.
Got
I
me
don't
feeling
know.
real nicey.
Got me feeling nicey. My favorite spot's the Lamar pass attempts, but even then it's just so scary. Because especially you're chasing MVP. Pittsburgh has a good run defense. It feels sharp and it seems way too high, especially when looking at like wins this season.
Yeah,
It just,
I
like,
personally
is-
definitely think the Ravens win this game and have a lead, but I just don't think we can do that.
My only thing that would make this spot like super appealing is no George Pickens, obviously, and then like they just stagnate on offense to the point where they're turning it over and getting like pick sixes, fumble
Yeah.
sixes, short field. That's like that would. I mean, obviously, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't see the future, but maybe without Pickens, they stagnate a little bit and just give the Ravens short field all the time. I don't know. That'd be my only thing. But
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I think we're good on this game. I think we jump.
Nothing I'm excited about. Nothing that gets me feeling
Gets your-
nicey in this game.
Nothing got me feeling not nicey. This game's got me feeling blah.
Yeah,
Not
it'll be fun to watch it though. I'm excited to tune into it on a Saturday. But what do you feel
Joel?
about Saturday games, by the way?
I like it. Joel Embiid's a game time decision now, by the way.
Oh yeah, I saw that. We need that. We need Mr. Big Man to pass
Get
it
through the
4
sinus-
times.
Get through the sinus
Yeah,
Fucking break.
4 potential assists and 4 assists is all we need.
No,
Just give
I
us
need
4
more.
for 4.
4 for 4. Oh man.
Yeah,
I like Saturday games though, because I don't watch college football really. Like so,
yeah, fair
I'm
enough.
cool. I'm cool with NFL Saturday. So
For
I don't
sure.
know. I love the NFL. That's why.
All right, well, I'm getting a little too eager to wait. I need you to move on to this Sunday slate so I can start talking about some of my really excited
Is this what you
plays.
wanted? Is this what you wanted?
No, 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 no. Not we won't start there. Hold on.
Okay.
Actually, well, that is one of them, but I don't want to start with Jameer Gibbs. Let us start with my one of my favorite plays
I'm
for
on this.
NFL
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Let's go. No, 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 no. Not
Oh.
that either, bro. I'm shocking you left and right, bro. You don't even know. It's James Conner, baby.
Oh yeah. Where's AJ?
Get me James Conner on the screen ASAP. All right. This spot is absolutely beautiful. So I got it at 80.5. What are the best odds that someone could get right now?
83. That's fine.
Okay, so we got that at 83. I think that underdog line at 82.5 is real. So if you're on DFS like I am, you can get that at 82.5. I love that there. I got it at 80.5 for the DubClub users, but this is one of my favorite spots for the NFL this Sunday, and here's why. So first of all, I think the spread is misrepresented. It's a 4.5 point spread, and the Cardinals are going on the road to the Panthers. It's going to be a very cold game. So first of all, it's just in terms of game environment. I love this spot for him to get carries. Then what? There's a ton of things that make this stand out to me. I want if you can pull it up. If not, that's okay. I'll just tell you guys. Actually, I will pull it up. But first of all, in terms of the injury report for the Cardinals, 1 second. Demercado, I have this in my notes right here. Demercado is on the injury reserve, and then Trey Benson hasn't practiced all week, so he's a game time decision, but he hasn't practiced once all week. So that will leave just James Conner and their 4th string running back as the backfield. So we all know James Conner is basically going to get every single carry. Can you actually look at what his rush attempt line is for me?
It's
I'm
18
pretty
and a half.
sure. Yeah. That's what it was at 17.5 at heavy juice when I was originally labbing this last night. But you can already tell he's heavily juiced to get 18 carries. And that's pretty solid alone. When he's gotten 18 carries, he's over in 3 out of 4. But that's not even the main reason I'm looking at this. First of all, he's going to get a ton of usage being the only back, truly the only back in this really cold game. But then going into the Panthers defense, the Panthers defense just lost 2 of their starting linebackers this week. And they have 2 more on the injury report that are questionable for this game. So that is brand new. They've already been allowing a ton of rush yards to running backs before this information, before these starting linebackers got hurt. They're going to have an absolute Swiss cheese defense on the ground this week, I'm expecting. And then just take a look at how running backs have been treating them on the ground recently. It's been pretty crazy. Ever since Rico Dowdle became running back 1 for the Cowboys, he's been an absolute stud. Dude literally doubled his 77.5 rush yard line against them. We've got Saquon going for 124 in classic Saquon style. Bucky 152. Even Rashad White got in on that action with 76. Then before that, honestly, nothing. Yeah, that Chiefs game isn't really, but also their run game isn't too established in my opinion. They didn't have Pacheco at that time. Then also the Giants, Tracy got his in, even Singletary. Kamara doubled his line. They've just been getting destroyed on the ground. Oh, I love that one too. I remember. Yeah. So yeah, if you just scroll up to their defense against running backs in general, they're allowing the most rush attempts in the league, the most rush yards in the league, the most rushing touchdowns in the league, middle of the pack in terms of rush long. It's an overall great spot. They're allowing it the 4th most yards per carry. They're allowing the most rush receiving yards. They're just getting absolutely tanked by running backs recently. And also another thing to note is that Xavier Legette is a true game time decision. If he gets ruled out, I think that 4.5-point spread shifts even more in the Cardinals' favor. I see them definitely having a one possession lead in this game no matter what. Even though the Panthers and Bryce Young have been looking slightly better. But this is one of my favorite spots for the weekend. Everything lines up. You're going to get a ton of usage. You've got weaknesses on their defense. You've got a defense that's already been allowing running backs to plow them. And you've got a good game script. Pause. Great spot. Great spot.
Yeah. So I was looking. I'm probably gonna lock this in too. I haven't had the chance to look at all the games.
Yeah, man.
This is fuego. Over the last month, the Panthers
got me feeling nicey.
It does got me feeling nicey. Over the last month, the Panthers are allowing 205 rushing yards per game. That's the most in the league by over 40. They're allowing six yards per carry, which is the most in the league by over 0.5, like half a yard, basically. And then they're allowing their top 5
It's
in
crazy.
explosive run rate allowed. Yeah, that's funny. His fantasy score might be money too. Whatever that's at like Prize
Yeah,
Picks or
I'll check
something.
it out on Prize Picks because honestly, he definitely has been getting utilized in the reception game as well. I bet he's favored to get at least 2 receptions.
It's probably like 17 and a half, right? I would assume.
Yeah, I'm taking a look right now.
18 and a
Hold
half.
on.
It's 18 and a half.
Damn, that's pretty high, dude.
Yeah.
Dude,
Well,
Trey
touchdown.
McBride is 17 this week. Can you believe that? They're definitely accounting for the hype of him getting a tutty. I know, I got it in my Flex Friday, bro.
That's why I locked it in earlier. That's why you locked it in. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, bro.
Kyler's not gonna not let it happen.
Yeah,
So-
I guess we gotta touch on the TikTok Kyler made real quick if we're on this game already. If you're
Yeah, that's
also
true.
going on the Cardinals, I gotta let y'all know that we do have a little sprinkle on the Trey Benson anytime touchdown this week.
Trey
All
McBride.
right, my bad. Trey, I'm looking.
No,
I was in the running
yeah.
back mode of the Cardinals running back.
So locked in on
Trey
James
Trey
Conner.
McBride, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
sprinkle
getting a
it,
tutty this
sprinkle it.
week.
What is it at now?
Yeah.
Odds wise.
Yeah, I mean, Kyler Murray went on his TikTok and said that 85 is getting a touchdown.
Yeah. Soon, but it's
Also,
gonna
the
happen this
Panthers just get absolutely destroyed by
By
tight
everything.
ends.
week. Everything.
Yeah, literally by everything,
Look at
dude.
that.
It's kind of funny how bad they are against just every single position.
They're allowing 0.83 rush attempts per game to the tight ends. They can't even get that right, dude. They're 31st.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
a good spot too. So I definitely like Connor a lot. If he's gonna get
Yeah,
19
so that was
carries, he's gonna
one of
get
my
80
number
yards.
one plays for the week. I was super excited to share that one.
I'm
I was
snagging
gonna
it.
leave By the way, I was gonna leave Mr. Evans for you to cover since
Yeah.
you got a pretty solid write up on that one. I
Yeah,
kept
let
mine
me-
pretty simple. Mine was a little bit more narrative based, even though the matchup without Diggs is amazing. But I think you should go over that.
Yeah. Let me get into
This
that
is
game.
another play that I'm super excited about. The CLV on this one has been already pretty
Is it
insane.
about 10 yards?
Dude, yeah, I locked this in at
crazy.
67.5 for Mr. Mike Evans to go over. And he is currently sitting at
80? Wow.
yeah, he's at 78 on chalkboard. So
Holy.
that's already 11 yards of value secured for the DubClub members. You guys can join for free till Christmas using the link below.
Yeah.
But this
got
is a
mine at
good spot
66.
regardless. I also, when I locked that in at 67.5, I threw a little 0.5 unit sprinkle on him to get 80 plus at the time, and then a 0.25 unit sprinkle on him to get 100 plus.
What was 85? What was 80 plus when you locked it?
Um,
Plus was it
at-
like plus like what?
At the time when I locked in for him to get 80 plus, that was plus 120.
And that's
Because
regular
his line was only 67. Yeah, now it's a
his
regular line. So his plus 120, 80 plus is now a regular line. And then for him to get 100 plus, at the time was plus 300. Literally only plus 300 for him to get 100 plus, which is crazy. But
That's crazy. Yeah. So no, it's a beautiful spot. When I locked it in, I managed to snag for the club. I got 67 on the DFS and then 66 and a half on FanDuel.
what's good,
So-
chat? Young Kings. We got Hannah in here and Evan. E. Jones, the boy E. Jones. Love that guy. That's an absolute dog from the Discord. Appreciate y'all.
What's
We got some Hannah's hyped with you. What's up, Joker? Appreciate you, bro. Make sure if anyone's in the chat and want to know anything, make sure to drop it in the chat. We'll go over it for you.
Alex said no.
What are you about to say? No
Alex said
Diddy?
No Diddy. That's earlier when you said the plowing comment. It's all right.
Dude, I can't say anything on here without getting diddied.
All right, Mike, Big Mike. Oh, I'm
Yeah,
just looking at
Big Mike.
All right,
Big
so
Mike is gonna pay the rent. He's gonna pay the whole. He's gonna feed the
your
village.
tuition, your
Yeah,
tuition is gonna get
anything,
paid.
bro. Yeah.
But so big Schmike. Actually, I still think it's playable at 80. So
Okay, well,
I
wait.
like
Take a hold on
at
that. It's
lower
not
unit
at 80
size.
everywhere. It's
Then
at,
it
you can
then if
get it
it's
at
70,
75
yeah.
and a half and 78 and a
Let me
half.
check. Let me. Actually, I want to let the people know
So
the
yeah, get
exact
the
real
obviously
price.
line shop, but if this is the best line you have available for you, it's honestly still worth a take at maybe like
Okay,
0.75 units
78,
on.
78, 79 is the lowest it's at right now, and that's
Yeah,
at even
so
money.
grab it at 78 and a half if you can, but this is a
Yeah.
great spot for Mike Evans to go over. Mailman's got a solid write up for it if you want to go over
Yeah,
your write up.
I'll nitpick some spots. So obviously, narrative play. 251 yards is all he needs over the last 3 weeks to keep the 1,000 yard streak alive. And Baker. They asked Baker about it. Yeah, he's writing it down. They asked Baker what he thought about the 1,000 yard streak, and he said, and I quote, "I'm thinking about it more than Mike is, trying to get him the ball some way somehow, but
I
not
saw
forcing
that
it."
too.
And so obviously the dude's saying not trying to force it because he's media trained quarterback. He doesn't actually care. He's going to force it to Mike Evans. There's no way he's going to be known as the first quarterback to not get Big Mike 1K yards. So
That's
and then
facts, bro.
and then since he returned from injury, he's dominated the Bucks receiving room in terms of target rate, which is at 28%. Targets per out run is 34%, which is crazy. And his wow, yeah, no, and then was it yards per route run is 4.18, which is nuts. And then the Cowboys run single high coverage at the 12th highest rate in the league. And then since Evans returned, he's dominated single high. He has a 31% target rate, 40% targets per out run, and 4.8 yards per out run. And he accounts for 50% of the team's receiving yards versus the coverage. So
Damn, bro.
do
It's
with that
so
what
good
you
of a
will.
it's such a good play that even
gonna
while
get
you were
40
reading
yards.
the stats that you already knew, you were like, wow, this is
Yeah,
great.
I'm in awe of the own research.
This is
looking
such a
back on it
good
to
spot for
reflect on it.
Big Mike. Oh, and you didn't
Yeah.
even cover the fact that Cowboys cornerback Trayvon Diggs is out for the season.
He's bummy.
Yeah,
He's
and
bummy
even though
out.
he ain't all that in my opinion, but he is
Yeah.
their best cornerback by
Yeah.
far. So he is gone. So Big Mike is just a great matchup, and you're right. Baker Mayfield is not going to hop on the interview and be like, "Yeah, I'm just going to chuck it to Big Mike any chance I
14
get
targets.
now."
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but he's going to get fed.
Yeah,
So
look at his
this
targets since he's
he's
been back.
since return. It's kind of this doesn't look great with the full, but since return, if you average those out between his 4 games that he's been
He's
back,
running
that's
those right
these
there.
4 games he's averaging 8.5 targets per game,
Yeah,
and
he
he
has
made
the
big
spike weeks
usage.
too.
Yeah, and he made big usage of his targets last week. He broke off for some really big touchdowns last week,
Look at those
but
longs too.
yeah, this is just a spot that is great for Mike Evans to chunk into his goal of 1,000. I definitely think he's
gonna get
getting it. Also, a little plug. I
This
made a little video for Mike Evans on Instagram. Go check it out at Spade Prize Picks. I need y'all to hop in the comments and let me know if you think he's getting 1,000 receiving yards this season.
Drop a Christmas tree emoji.
Yeah, also drop a Christmas tree emoji in there. You can get free VIP till Christmas. But, yeah, Mike Evans, he's going over. We got him
Big
at
Mike.
67 and a half, but line shopping, get the best line available to you.
CLV already.
Yeah, on lots of these spots.
Yeah,
I guess going
insane.
into that, you can go ahead and go over to Gibbs. That's the last spot that I have written down because I had Mike Evans, I had Jahmyr Gibbs, Joe Mixon, and James Conner. And then some leans I have a couple leans that we were talking about in our personal lob session that we had in the library the other day that we can go into as well, specifically Ramondre. I think that's a good one.
That's a look. For sure.
But yeah, let me talk about Jahmyr Gibbs a little bit. This is one that is gonna be a popular look this week. It actually hasn't been like I haven't seen anyone else playing it, but I just have a feeling that a lot of wagers are going to be on Jahmyr Gibbs this week to go over his rush yards or his props. I like the touchdown, but it's at pretty heavy juice. If you're looking for a little builder on like DFS apps, you can maybe throw in his anytime tutty. That's
300.
absolutely insane. His fantasy score line on Prize Picks is 22.5. That's also a little
sneaky.
steep.
This is sneaky.
Oh, I know. I'm gonna touch in on Craig Reynolds as well. I think you and I both agree that Craig Reynolds, the backup running back, is most likely going to be utilized on third down passing. You're good. Downs, but I think Craig Reynolds will get some snaps for passing downs. But in terms of Jahmyr Gibbs, This is a great matchup for Gibbs to go over his rushing yards against the Chicago Bears. So the Chicago Bears have allowed almost every single running back this season to go over their respective rushing yard line. If you can actually, for me, go over to the odds and then show running backs, go ahead and check this out. Scroll down for me in there a bit. Aaron Jones covered, Isaac Guerrero covered, David Montgomery covered, Jahmyr Gibbs covered, Aaron Jones covered, Josh Jacobs covered, Ramondre covered. Every single running back has covered. You're on mute, by the way. Yeah.
13 to 13 starting running backs have covered. Sorry, my
There
sister
you
tried to
go.
walk in my room and I slammed the door in her face on accident.
That's
back. This is the back home problems now that I'm back.
Make sure male sis is okay.
Yeah,
but-
I did. That's
Okay. That's good. Okay. All right. Well, 13 out of 13 starting running backs have covered their respective rushing yard lines against Chicago. If you can go up to their rushing yard line or their rushing defense, my bad.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, co-founder Goat Lou would hate to see this, but the Chicago Bears have just been an absolute run funnel. They're allowing the third most rush yards in the league. They're allowing the seventh most rush attempts in the league. That's just as a result of teams running it on them, though. The sticky stat there is really the 29th, or that translates to the third most rush yards in the league allowed to running backs. And with Gibbs being the sole back for this game for most of the snaps, I'm assuming, if you actually look, the last game that he had without Monty from last season, pretty much the one game he had without Monty for the entire game last season in the same role he's in, he had 152 rush yards and 26 carries. Yep. So, as you can see, last game where he was in the same role as he is now, without Monty, he had 152 yards on the ground. Can you actually see how many he had in rush receiving? How many receiving yards did he have in that game against Vegas?
It was a lot. Actually, he didn't have a lot in that, but his other ones he did. So he covered in a lot.
Yeah, okay, I see that. So, I love
He actually
this
still did
spot.
have a lot.
Yeah, I love this spot for him to dominate on the ground. Also, just because I think Craig Reynolds gets utilized in a bit in the pass game, possibly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically that was pretty much the main spot for me. Is this is just I got this line at 87.5, but with Chicago allowing the seventh most rush attempts and the third most rushing yards, I definitely think Gibbs is getting 20 plus carries. His rush attempt line is currently 18.5, so that is also a spot I like for the over. I think this is an easy guaranteed 20 carries game for Gibbs, and overall good spot in my opinion for Jahmyr Gibbs to take over as Sonic.
Yeah, indeed. I wish I locked it in earlier this week. And also, with this was also a cheeky spot, which is bumped. Yeah, this line opened at 16.5, which is ridiculous. I should have jumped. Yeah, it was ridiculous. I was looking at it and I didn't jump on it. Too busy of a week. Why does school exist?
Yeah, seriously. Why does school finals have to come during week 16 of the NFL? I'm trying to lock in for my fantasy playoffs and for DFS and picks. Like, what are they talking about?
They got to get their priorities straight. But no, I like the Gibbs spot a lot, obviously. And then this, just kind of going off of that, where's the man at? I lost him. This is
Who are you
cheeky.
looking for?
This is cheeky for plus 350.
I'm not a
Plus
fan.
350?
Hey, but if he cashes though, I'm gonna wish I tailed. But I'm personally not a fan.
I don't. But my only thing is, do they want to run their only good running back into the ground against Chicago, a game they know they're gonna win? Like when they only have.
That's so fair, bro.
Right. That's my only thought with that. Like, yeah.
Hey, did you see though? Monty might come back during this season.
Yeah, I did
during
see
the
that.
postseason. But yeah, that's pretty crazy news.
Yeah. So look at my hit rate.
He's getting that like CMC Germany treatment real quick before he comes back.
LeBron trip to Germany treatment. That's what he's doing. But yeah, no, I definitely like the Gibbs spot. I wish I locked that in earlier this week, but I still think it's.
Didn't you? I thought you also got Gibbs and didn't you get Gibbs and Evans in?
I got
on
Evans.
Underdog.
I got. Oh, I locked. That's a personal, but yeah, I locked. I didn't.
Yeah,
get,
yeah,
I
you
didn't
didn't.
get Gibbs
Yeah.
in the DubClub. Yeah, no,
No
because I
worries,
just
yeah.
that's when I had zero research on it. It was just pure gut. But yeah, no,
Yeah, that
definitely,
makes
definitely a
sense.
solid spot in that game.
Yeah.
But I don't really know. I don't think anything else in this game really draws me. I haven't looked at it much. I think the Lions might run it 40 times.
Possibly, bro.
But then don't take Jared Goff under attempts because somehow he'll get to 40. Just randomly.
Somehow, dude. Yeah, that's
Ooh, that's pretty high. He's been passing a ton more recently, especially with Monty out. Yeah, they might throw it a little bit more.
Yeah. Do you want to go ahead and switch over to Ramondre Stevenson?
Yeah, let's do
Got me
that.
feeling real nicey.
Yeah, I haven't delved into this much since we looked at it, but it hasn't bumped.
I've
It has
taken a
bumped.
I've taken a few extra looks. I was looking today before the DCTV just to make sure that I actually wanted to lock this in. But
Did you lock it?
I haven't locked it in on a slip yet, but I'm going to. I'm pretty confident this won't bump from 13 and a half. I only have 13 and a half available to me. That's what I'm taking. You can get 12 and a half on some books. But this is a solid spot. We were looking at it earlier this week, and Ramondre's routes run is pretty solid. If you could actually, I don't know if you're able, I know that program is pretty RAM heavy. If you can just remember this, the metrics off your head either. But Ramondre is running a ton. Oh yeah, it did switch. This is perfect. Yeah, this is what we were looking for. Get this guy up here. Is this the routes run stat?
Oh, yeah, I can pull it up.
Yeah, I bet.
This. Rec V.
All right, well, I don't see it right now. Right now, I only see Ramon. It just shows his latest news.
Oh, it's bugging. Hold on, I got you.
Just read. It's really. Oh, wait. It's up. Okay. Yeah. So Ramondre is where?
It's routes run. It's receiving. It's RC.
Yeah. Which one is him? I can't see the full screen.
This is
there we
him.
go. This is just every week.
Yeah.
My bad. So Rec V. This is He's last week he ran 14 routes. Week before that, 27, 14, 27, 16, 26, 20.
That's a lot.
This matchup for him against Buffalo is very favorable. We also compared this to Antonio Gibson, and the routes run numbers were much better for Ramondre. Gibson ran like 8 routes per game compared to Ramondre's like floor of like 15 to 20. This is a super solid spot with the Bills allowing a ton of receiving yards to running backs.
Got me feeling real nicey.
Yeah, we're getting a soundboard for that for the summer when we hop on the little
stealing Gruden's flow.
Yeah, definitely. I need that. That's one of my favorite things. I need a little got me feeling real nicey. But
it does.
I wouldn't give this spot the John Gruden got me feeling real nicey. But this is a spot that is definitely stood out to me throughout the week as I've been looking at a few different spots throughout all these games, just because of the matchup and the fact that he's seeing so many routes.
Yeah, it's a good spot. It's definitely a hard lean that I'll probably end up playing, so I do like it as well.
Yeah,
I have a lot of hard leans that I haven't locked in officially yet. And actually, speaking of hard leans, I actually wanted to circle back to we were looking at where's Carolina at in this game. I want to see if the line dropped. Okay, it did. It's kind of gross. It's very gross actually, but Chuba receiving yards. All right, so I had some metrics pulled up over the past couple of weeks
with Xavier Legette also being a possible getting ruled out. This could be.
Yeah, that was definitely part of the.
It doesn't look appealing, but the line says that.
You gotta look at the target numbers.
Yeah.
The first thing you gotta look at is the target numbers. It's been pretty steady at like the 4 to 5 range over the last like month and in a week or so. And then I have these stats I'm gonna pull up. You guys can't see this because this program takes too much and it's on my other computer. But over the last month of football, the Cardinals are actually allowing the highest target rate to backfield, like to running backs. 23.1% of targets are going to opposing running backs when the Cardinals play a team. So that's just the volume's been kind of nuts and the targets have been nuts and no league yet. It's an ugly number sitting at 16.5 to 15.5 when he's done nothing with it pretty much. But like just the metrics over the last couple of weeks. Like looking here, we got Ramondre, the boy we were just talking about, hit. Charbonnet hit it. Aaron Jones did not. I'm assuming it's probably just I don't know exactly why, but Kenneth Walker 52, Breece Hall 31. So and then you got a big stretch run of a lot of hits. So it started off really rough, I guess, in the season. Not even though. It's just been kind of backups not hitting. So honestly, I like the spot with no league yet. And the target rate
it's definitely a lean that I wouldn't have expected to be something that you would have just pulled out of your hat. But
yeah, and Coker Coker.
Yeah, that's true. He's also questionable. Yeah, Coker. Well, Coker is also on the injury report. Honestly,
he'll play, though. He'll probably play.
Yeah, the entire Panthers team is pretty in shambles.
Yeah,
but
I don't think Leggett plays. So I think Cook is
Yeah,
a solid look, and I think Chuba. I think that's a little too low.
some
Given the
some of the
projections.
leans that we had written down. We were looking at Tony Pollard, but he's trending on not playing, so that's
Mm.
off the board.
Tajay receiving could be really good then,
Yeah, that we
or
were
rush receiving.
targeting that running back against in that matchup. This
We
is a
don't have
good
any money.
spot. Um, then also we were looking at Josh Allen pass attempts under in a
Yeah.
matchup that we think they're gonna blow out.
It
On
dropped
the
so
other
it's
side of that, since they set that so low, something I was
it's
looking at was James Cook's rushing yards against New
yeah.
England,
Hmm.
playing off the fact that I think they're gonna have a huge lead. That's like what a 14-point spread this week,
It's the highest
if
of the
I'm
week
not
for
wrong.
sure.
Yeah, it's the highest
I
spread of
think
the week.
it is. Let me see. It's 14. Yeah.
Yeah, 14-point spread. Check out that run defense against running backs. James Cook is definitely in a solid spot to eat. His line is also set relatively low. James Cook is super low-key spotty,
He is
but
very spotty.
it's a good matchup for him to cover. That was something I was looking at. I threw him on the Flex
I think it's a
Friday
good.
and
I think
Prize
it's a good
Picks.
lean. It's a good.
I can read them the Flex Friday that I locked in.
I was gonna say build one, but I forgot you already put yours out. I haven't built.
Hey,
Mine.
you can build yours if you want, but the only thing is going on Prize Picks on the shared screen is kind of like,
And $5 limit. You can all see my $5 limit.
yeah. But I'll read off what I locked in for mine. I've got Ramondre Stevenson over 13.5 receiving yards, James Conner over 82.5 rush yards, Joe Mixon over 60.5 rush yards, George Kittle over 23.5 longest reception, James Cook over 66.5 rushing yards, and Trey McBride at anytime touchdown.
That's
Just
in the
to
flex. That's in the
top
flex Friday?
off, it is, bro. It
Did
made
you
it a
power play
30. It made it a 35x. No, you
Did you
can't
power
power a
it?
Flex Friday. It's a flex.
Oh, I thought you could.
Nah. You can power it, but it won't protect. It won't be. It won't give you your money back.
This is my non-prize.
And I'm not normally making 6-mans for the cord on the reg, but that's just because it's every Friday Prize Picks gives you one play where you'll get your money back if it doesn't hit. So we lock in a couple. We like to lock in a lotto every week on Friday. We actually hit one about a month ago. Yeah, 6-man crazy bang. But yeah.
It was a crazy bang.
Dorian under pass
Yeah,
yards.
Oh, pass yards? I was looking at
Dude.
my lean was rush
Really? Over rush or under rush?
over rush.
Okay, I like the over rush, but I like the under pass yards.
No, I do. I like the correlation.
Dude, he's
This
and
this
like
opened at this actually opened at 216. It actually did.
that is so nutty. That would have been the hammer. That would have been a beluga.
Yeah, it was stupid. Again, another one. Yeah, 10-unit beluga. Another one that I was looking at but didn't lock. So unfortunate. But
That's
yeah,
crazy. I wish I was looking at his under 200 flat and I see it's already moving to 195. But he's not going to get it going in the pass game. Sorry to anyone who has Jerry Jeudy in fantasy. Your season kind of got ended.
I really like this though.
And
This
also,
is at
Mike
25
Evans just
when I was
bumped to 80.5 on chalk. So make that
We
officially
did
makes
this in
it
the stream.
13. We made that officially 13 yards of CLV secured for the DubClub members.
Between the both of us, that's a lot of yards.
That's a lot of yards.
That's how club's eating. Join for free. Before,
But
before
Mike
Christmas.
Evans is gonna cash that. All right.
Somehow he's gonna put up 30 yards on Twitch, and then he's gonna tear his hamstring. Just how it goes.
That would suck.
CLV is proven to not matter to me when I get it every night, and then the dudes just end their seasons. But
So
It's all right.
speaking of Dorian's under passing yards, this defense is really trash. Honestly, why are Bengals defense so trash? I have no idea. But the matchup is good for Dorian to throw for 200, but Dorian's just not going to throw for 200.
can I interest you in QB? So that was one of my things for looking at that. I actually like them as
Yeah.
a correlation. Little lotto under 150 over 50.
Yeah, solid.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think I like kind of the same sentiment. We're flowing off the same thing. I think under passing yards is nice. I don't like it as much at 190. I liked it when it was like 210, 200, but that was just stupid. I don't know why that came out at that price.
Yeah, and let's talk about a hot topic in the NFL this week. I want to know about you. Can you go to the Atlanta versus Giants game?
Mr. Michael?
Give me Mr. Michael's lines. What are you thinking about Michael Penix this week? Obviously, this is not a representative graph of how he's going to play.
No, this is real.
Um,
He was such a good passer in college.
I think I'm going to go out right now. Bold take of the week for DCTV for this week. I'm going to say that Michael Penix throws for at least 240.
At
So
least
he's covering
240.
that 219 line, and he's going up to 240.
What's the spread?
I was looking at some practice footage, and honestly, it's not something you can take for seriousness. But hearing of what the Drake London is saying about playing with Michael, I think that this is gonna be a solid spot. And even though the Giants have actually been pretty locked down in the air,
They have.
I think this is a good spot for a breakout game while we're getting nice odds on a low line.
I
If he comes out and he slings it for, I don't think he does this, but if he slings it for like 300, then we're never getting lines like that again.
no.
And I know Bijan could definitely also eat for like literally probably 150 on the ground, but I'm gonna take the risk on Mr. Michael Penix Jr. having a breakout game for his first start of the season.
Yeah, no, I get where
I
you're
think
coming from.
I
He's on
think
my
it's a low
dynasty team.
line. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
a super low line for how he plays.
My only fear is Drew Lock is the quarterback, and it's an 8.5 point home spread for the Falcons. So I get it though. He's on my dynasty team, so I hope he does well. I need
Dude,
him
you
in
can't.
the future.
I feel like anytime I bet on someone and I know that he's like on my fantasy and I'm like excited to watch an over because he's on the fantasy team, I feel like it goes the opposite way.
At least I'm not playing him. He's not. He is. If I had to play him, my team would be in shambles. He's on my taxi squad for the dynasty folks out there.
That's good. That's good. But yeah, so those are some spots for the weekend. Just to kind of circle back to some of my favorites for anyone who wants some spots for this Sunday that are probably going to move even further than they already have. We've got my number one spot is James Conner over 80.5 rush yards, playable to about 83 in my opinion. Number two for tomorrow, Joe Mixon over 59.5 rushing yards. Next up, Jahmyr Gibbs over 87.5 rushing yards. Mike Evans over 67.5 receiving yards. And then Ramondre Stevenson over 12.5 receiving yards as well. Those are 5 spots for this weekend that I think are really solid, great matchups, and great statistics to back them. Also some narratives in there.
There is. All right, my glorious list is Mike Evans, 66.5 receiving yards, the only play I have locked. But Trey McBride, too, anytime, sprinkle. That's definitely on there. But I do really like the Connor play. The Gibbs play, obviously, we were looking at when you locked. I should have locked, but it's a good spot, too, even at where it's bumped to. Yeah, it's an interesting slate. There's nothing really like big standouts. Like
those are my biggest standouts.
Yeah.
Honestly, James Conner and Mike.
Yeah, I like the James Conner ones.
So those are big standouts of the week for me. Also for the NBA today, I've got Embiid over 3.5 assists. I've got Jimmy Butler over 23.5 points and rebounds. And then we've got Donovan Mitchell over 23.5 points.
Spider. Yeah,
Mitchell.
I got Joel assists at 3.5 as well, and I have SGA assists at 5.5. Those are my only 2 spots for today. So just small slate. Keep it small. Don't force anything. Only if you're 100% confident in it. You'll make your money back a different day, if not today. So just pace it out. Bankroll management. Excited for football on Saturday and Sunday. We got an action-packed weekend. A lot of stuff going on. Holiday season 2. Happy holidays to everybody.
Yeah, seriously.
Having good times with your family and such. So
busy time for sure. We're going to be locked in for you guys still. Got a really good time for some sports coming up soon with all the holiday stuff going on. Also some really big action-packed weekend. You guys can find our Dub Clubs for free in the comments. I think we're about to wrap it up here. But it was great being on here today with you guys. Appreciate all of your support a million times over. You guys are the reason that we're able to do this. Anything you want to say?
See you all on Friday. Next Friday.
Yes, sir. We'll see you guys next Friday.
Weekly. Get used to these faces.
Yeah, seriously. All right. Well,
and
appreciate you guys.
Racha, get well, Racha. I know you're sick, so get well.
Yeah, get well soon to the Go Racha.
Yeah. All right. Well,
all right.
It's been a pleasure, everyone. And we'll see you all next Friday. Have a great Christmas. And happy holidays, whoever you celebrate. Have a great time with your loved ones and family, and we'll see you then.
Yeah, that's most important, for sure. And cashing out, baby.
And,
all right.
Yeah, cashing out above all. No.
Yeah. All right.